Okay, everyone, welcome to this part 2 of this solving system by two variables quiz preview, right? So make sure you have your paper and pencil out, ready to copy everything down, because remember, this exact worksheet that I'm working on right now is the same worksheet that you need to turn in for your assignment, right? So here we go. First thing that we do always is we identify the instructions, right? And this is solve each system by substitution. So we're going to use our substitution skills here to solve solve this work, okay? So as I always do, as Mr. Martinez enjoys doing here, is where I'm going to highlight each equation here, right? So what I notice here is each one is y. Y is equal to y, so that means that if the left is equal to the left, then the right is equal to the right. So what I can do is I can say 17x plus 45 is equal to negative 7x minus 27, just like that, right? Let me write this a little smaller so I have room, okay? So that's what I noticed. They are equal to each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, didn't mean to do that either. Did mean to do that. Here we go. So I am going to draw my line of separation. I'm going to bring this minus 7x over as plus 7x. And I'm going to bring this 45 over as negative 45, just like that. 17x and 7x is 24x. Negative 27 and negative 45 are the same sign, so I got to add those two dudes, and I get negative 72. The opposite of multiplying by 24 is dividing by 24, and I get x is equal to negative 3. Negative divided by a positive is a negative, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick my easiest equation here that I see, and I'm going to pick this top one because I want to mess with only positive numbers. So I get y is equal to 17x. Well, I'm going to leave x as a parentheses because I know what x is. Plus 45, right? X is negative 3 is going to go right in there. So negative 3. So I'm left with 17 times negative 3 is negative 51 plus 45. Negative 45 plus 45. Negative 51 plus 45, different signs. 51 minus 45 is 6. Negative 6 because 51 is bigger. So my ordered pair, kiddos, is x is negative 3. Y is negative 6. Boom. Look at that. That is our number 5. We solved it using substitution. We substituted. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Let's move on to number 6 here. Numero 6. So, of course, I'm going to highlight blue. And let's go with this. Oops, did not mean to do that. Did mean to do this. This reddish color, right? Pinkish. So, what I notice on this one is this is already solved for y. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, whatever y is, and I'm going to plug it in right here where y is on that blue equation. So let me write again this blue equation, but instead of writing y, I'm going to put a big parentheses is equal to negative 30, just like this. And then, like I said, I'm going to plug in these two right in there because that's y, right? Negative 6x plus 24. Now, here's an invisible 1 here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute negative 1 times negative 6x and negative 1 times 24. So I get negative 9x. That just comes down. Negative 1 times negative 6 is positive 6x. Negative 1 times 24 is negative 24 is equal to negative 30. Draw my line of separation. These two dudes go together. Negative 9x and 6x. 9 minus 6 is 3x with a negative. I cross out negative 24 and I add 24. Different signs. Subtract 30 minus 24 is 6. Negative 6, kiddos, because 30 is bigger. The opposite of multiplying by negative 3 is dividing by negative 3. So I get x is equal to positive 2. Negative 6 divided by negative 3 is a positive 2, kiddos. All right. So now I need y. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, this is already solved for y. Look, this already says y equals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring over that. And I'm going to say y equals, let's see, negative 6x. Negative 6x, I'm going to put as parentheses, plus 24. And I know what's going to go in the parentheses is this 2 right here. Boom, right in there. Because I know x is 2, right? 2. There you go. And now I can, negative 6 times 2 is negative 12 plus 24. And different signs, so I subtract. 24 minus 12 is 12. Positive 12 because 24 is bigger. So my ordered pair, kiddos, is here. X is 2, y is 12, and there we go. Look at that. That's number 6. Right? Again, we did it substituting, right? We put in the red into the blue. We substituted. So those are the first 2 kinds. Look at that. All right, let's do number 5 here. So number 5, so let's highlight here. Let's go with this, I like to call vomit green, and this awesome blue here. Now, there's nothing by itself here. There's no y equals, there's no x equals, but there's an almost x equals. This x is almost by itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this x here plus 3y equal to 12. So I'm going to get this x by itself right here, right? So the way I'm going to get this x by itself is I'm going to move this plus 3y as negative 3y, just like this. So I get x is equal to 12 minus 3y. Look at that. So that, kiddos, is my new green. This is my new green right here. So I do not need, right? I do not need this dude anymore. Right? I do not need this dude anymore because I have my new green right here. Right? So what I'm going to do is I am going to plug in x 12 minus 3y into that x right there, into that blue. See? So I'm going to write the blue over here on this side. 17, but instead of x, I'm going to put a big parentheses, minus 2y is equal to negative 8. And like I said, this is x right here. These two suckers, they go right in there. 12 minus 3y. 12 minus 3y. Look at that. So now I must multiply 17 times 12 and 17 times 3y. Right? So if I do 17 times 12, I get 204. So this gives me 204. Minus 17 times 3 is 51y. And then I have minus 2y is equal to minus 8. Look at that. I draw my line of separation. This 204, I'm going to bring it over as negative 204 to the other side. And these two dudes are like terms. They go together, right? Because they're both y's. Negative 51 and negative 2 is negative 53. They're the same signs. Negative 8 and negative 2 to the 4 are the same sign, so I'm going to add those two as well, and I get 212. The opposite of multiplying by negative 53 is dividing by negative 53. So I get y is equal to 212 divided by 53 equals 4. So I got my 4 now. Fortunately for me, I need x, but look what I'm going to do with this 4 right here. I'm going to put it right in there. Because I already have x by itself here, so if I plug in 4 there, I'll be able to get x by itself. Right? So I am going to write x is equal to 12 minus 3y, but I'm going to put a parenthesis because like we had talked about, this 4 is going to go right in there. So 4 goes there. So 12, negative 3 times 4 is minus 12. 12 minus 12 is 0, kiddos. So my order pair is going to be x 0, comma, y 4. And look at that. Boom, there's my number 7. All right. 3 down. 3 down, 1 to go. Okay, so once again, I want to get y by itself here. I want to get y or x by itself, excuse me. But none of them are by themselves. Look at this one was pretty. Actually, you can't see it because x was by itself there. Oh, right here. So I was able to just move negative 3y over, and then x was by itself. But this is a little tricky because, look, nothing's by itself. This one's got 14, this one's got negative 3, this one's got 5, and this one's got negative 4. That's a problem. But it's not a problem because all we got to do is just do an extra step, right? So this is my pink equation, and this is my yellow/orange equation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pink equation, and I'm going to write it down just like this. So my goal on this one is to get y by itself. So I'm going to move this 14x over as minus 14x, like this. So I'm left with 5y on this side and 25 minus 14x on that side, like that. So to get y by itself, the opposite of multiplying by 5 is dividing by 5. But I got to share the love and multiply by 5 here too. So I'm left with y is equal to 25 divided by 5 is 5. 14 divided by 5 does not work out, right? Simplified, so it's left simply like that, right? So that, kiddos, is my new pink. This is my new pink right here. Right? So I no longer need this dude right here, this pink, because I got my new pink right here. Look at that. And this dude is going to go right in there because it's y equals. Right? It's y equals. So let me write this dude over. Negative 13x minus 4 parentheses, right? Long parentheses equals what? Negative 20. Just like that. And like we said before, this dude right here is going to go right in there because that's what y is. Y is equal to 5 minus 14 over 5x. 5 minus 14 over 5x. And now I got to distribute this negative 4 times 5 and this negative 4 times negative 14 over 5. So, looks tough, but let's do it. So I bring down my negative 13x. Negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. Negative 4 times negative 14 is a positive 56. Can't forget my over 5 part. X is equal to negative 20. Now this fraction right here is killing me, right? So I'm going to get rid of this 5 right there, right? And the opposite of dividing by 5 is multiplying by 5. So I'm going to multiply this by 5 right here. Because look what happens. Boom, boom. Cancel out. But that means I got to multiply everything by 5. I got to multiply this negative 13 times 5. I got to multiply this negative 20 times 5 and this negative 20 by 5 as well. So that's going to give me a negative 65x here. I'm going to get a negative 100 there. And I know this is plus 56x for sure. And negative 20 times 5 is negative 100 right there. So I'm going to draw my line of separation. This negative 100 comes over as plus 100. These two dudes are like terms because they're both x. Different signs. I subtract. 65 minus 6 is 9x. And it's negative because 65 is bigger. Negative 100 and positive 100 are not the same sign, so 100 minus 100 is 0. The opposite of multiplying by negative 9 is dividing by negative 9. 0 divided by 9, 0 divided by anything is 0. So, right, there's my x. Look at that. I finally got x after all that work. So now to get my y, I'm going to take this x here and I'm going to plug this dude in right there. So I'm going to say y is equal to 5 minus 14 over 5, parentheses, and I know 0 is going to go in there. Fortunately for me, 14 over 5 times 0 is nothing because 0. So I'm just left with y equals 5. So my ordered pair here, kiddos, is going to be x is 0, y is 5. And that is my solution right there. And that's as hard as it's going to get right there. Okay? So make sure that you have copied everything down. Make sure that you rewind if necessary in order for you to get everything written down. Because this is the assignment, right? This is the assignment. So copy everything down, rewind, pause if you have to. Thank you for being here. Good luck on the quiz. See you next time.